Welcome, everyone, to today's first edition of the 2026 mock draft, a multi network mock draft between the Aboriginal Sports Network and the Hardcore Sports Network. I am your host, Coach Ed Gladney. Really excited for this venture today. We have a select group of content creators ready to assume the role of GMs and make the selection of particular teams. Who will they pick for your team? So, again, welcome to the 2026 Mock Draft 1.0. Now, again, like I said, with normal mock drafts, we are doing things differently. As our analysts, they aren't just talking prospects. They're making the picks. Every team, every decision, every argument on the clock. No consensus boards, no safety nets, just real evaluations and thoughts. Who will be the number one overall draft pick? Who will be the pick for your team? Tonight we're going to see. So let's put the teams on the clock. And coming up with the first overall draft pick will be the Las Vegas Raiders. And doing the selection for the Raiders will be Agent X.
Thank you for having me. And I'm ready to make the selection.
So,
And my
with
pick is
that
in.
being said, we're going to start the clock, and you're on the board.
All right. I've made my selection.
Okay.
With the first pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders selects Fernando Mendoza, quarterback from Indiana Hoosiers.
There we
I,
have it. Go ahead.
I think I mentioned this in my show earlier that we talked about who was going to be the best quarterback out of that draft. And I think Fernando Mendoza has a higher similarity to Matt Ryan, Josh Allen, and of course, Lamar Jackson. But in my opinion, with Cliff Kubiak now on the Raiders, and you have a solid offense with Brock Bowers and potentially and Ashton Genty, I see this as a really, really good pick for the Vegas Raiders. And I think this will be a franchise star for years to come.
Okay, so there you have it. What are some of his traits that he brings to the table for the Raiders?
I mean, he could throw the ball. He could run sometimes. He could throw the ball mostly. And I think with the correct response traits, because I haven't paid attention to college football, because Fernando Mendoza is one of those quarterbacks who has a similar ceiling to a few quarterbacks, like I mentioned earlier. And to tell you the truth, I think he'll be a really good quarterback for years to come if they develop him properly. Because the last time the Raiders drafted a quarterback was Jamarcus Russell, and he was a bust. Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
he'll be better than the previous number one pick they draft. So I'm gonna say Fernando Mendoza is my first pick.
All right. Well, thank you for that selection. Really appreciate that. And we're going to go ahead now and move on to the second selection or the second pick, which will be the New York Jets. And that will be done by NYG22, also known as an Unpopular Opinion Sports. Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the board, NYG.
What's good, man? All right,
You
man.
All right, so you're going to be on the board
The
now.
goddamn Jets. Yeah, here we go.
So.
Here we go with the goddamn Jets. Now, looking at the board here, they got Ruben Bain Jr. number 2, but he ain't number 2 in my book. So I want you to scroll down a little bit. Keep going. Wait a minute. Yep.
Okay.
Number 1, that's right. Go up. Because we at 1 now. Number 1 player on the board, Arvell Reese, easy choice.
Is that your selection?
I mean, it's between him and Ruben Bain,
Okay.
but all right, let's go with it. With the second overall pick, we, the New York Jets, select Arvell Reese. There you have it, man. Linebacker, Ohio State.
All right. So what is it that he's bringing to the Jets?
Do it all linebacker, man. I mean, he's an impact player. I mean, you gotta think. You lost so much with Quinnen Williams. The other Williams, Quincy Williams, he's a free agent. So you got to take that into consideration. And to be honest, the Jets just need to boost up their defense. You know, you got Aaron Glenn there for a reason. And I'm looking at Arvell Reese. He's the number 1 player, regardless of position. You picking 2 for a reason. You ain't no good. So you need impact players and you need talent on that roster. You know, I mean, this kid can do it all, man. I mean, you can line him up as a pass rusher. You can line him up in the middle as a like a Mike linebacker. So hey, he's a weapon on defense. You know how they say, like, on offense, you got offensive weapons, you got defensive weapons too. This kid is a defensive weapon and an impact player from day one, which is what you need on this team, because you chasing the Buffalo Bills, you chasing the New England Patriots right now. So this is an easy pick, man. You know, and I mean, Ruben Bain was in consideration, but you know, I like McDonald, I like Jermaine Johnson. I mean, I can roll with those guys. You know, let's get an impact player for our linebacker group, where, you know, I mean, you were struggling to stop the run anyway, so
all right,
you can move this guy around. But go ahead.
There you
I got it.
So thank you for that, NYG. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the number 3 selection, the Arizona Cardinals, and Fyro will be making the selection for the Cardinals.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on. But as the Arizona Cardinals, I believe we absolutely have our pick ready.
Okay.
With the 3rd pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals will select Spencer Fano. He's the offensive tackle from Utah.
There you have it. Okay.
So Spencer, in my opinion, and I know this is kind of a reach, he was a 9th, and actually a little bit lower before this, but he was a 9th prospect. But Arizona needs as much help as they can to protect not only Kyler Murray, but make sure guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. can actually get the ball. And when I see Spencer play, he is definitely a run blocker on the right tackle side, but that's not a bad thing. Kyler Murray loves to run. So does Jacoby Brissett if they end up keeping him around. So you have a great run block specialist. You also have somebody who is not determined. What's the word I'm looking? Disciplined. There we go. You have somebody who is disciplined on the field. He knows where he needs to go. He knows where he can and cannot go. You just saw a nice bull rush right there and another one. So this dude will absolutely protect not just your quarterback, your running back, and all of your players with a little bit of time.
Okay, so that's a good selection there for the Cardinals there in checking Fano off the board and giving protection to their offensive line. So thank you for that selection. So We're going to go ahead and let me stop the timer. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next pick, which will be the number 4 Tennessee Titans, and that will be Ghost Dog making the selection.
What's up, Coach?
Welcome.
Much
aboard.
appreciate you inviting me onto this official, unofficial first mock draft of the off season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, for sure.
All right. So, well, you're on the board, so your time starts. So, go ahead.
Yeah, the pick is ready.
Okay, and who are you? Well, go ahead. You have it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
With the number 4 pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cornell Tate, Ohio. Now, look, man, there's a lot of stuff going on over there in the Titans right now. There's a lot of shakeups going on. They got Saleh as the head coach. We got a familiar face over there, and Brian Daboll as the offensive coordinator. They got their quarterback, Cam Ward. And I paid attention to this young man last year because he was just really that dude coming out the draft despite the extra nonsense surrounding the quarterback situation last year. However, there was one thing that I noticed that he was struggling with mightily, and he didn't have a number 1 over there. Outside of a Calvin Ridley, who we even talking about outside, within that wide receiving core? Nobody. A Cornell Tate can fix that. And I get it. Hey, look, 875 yards last year. However, 78% catch rate, 9 touchdowns. Unless we forget, he missed a couple games as well. So I like this kid, man. Really good with the hands. He doesn't let cornerbacks really beat him. Big body, 6'3", 195 pounds. I like receivers like this. And, Cam Ward is going to make do real good with a Cornell Tate. So it's real simple mathematics for me. Tennessee Titans, you got yourself somebody really to look at for years to come to be a dominant, not only number 1, but a possible dominant red zone threat as well. So keep an eye out for sure.
All right, there. Thank you for that. The Cardinals and Ghost Dog with that selection. So we're going to go ahead now and move on. Stop the timer. And we're going to move on to the number 5 pick, which will be the New York Football Giants. And Agent X will be making the selection for the Giants.
Thank you for having me again. And to tell you the truth, it's down between 2 players. It's between Caleb Downs and Jordan Tyson. And I'm going to select number 6. With the 5th overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants selects Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State University. I mentioned this a couple minutes ago. A few shows of NFL pickups. We need a receiver. The Giants need a receiver. The Giants need the best player available since Harbaugh's arrival. But I think he would be a perfect fit because he's a 6'2", 200 pounds wide receiver. And I could also say that the Giants need a receiver, but in my opinion, since Jordan Tyson's injury concerns are really concerning for the Giants, but you established the quarterback situation, you already established the running back position, and you have a receiving core, Malik Neighbors, just in case he goes down again, you have your true receiver too of Jordan Tyson. He could run routes. He could pretty much reunite with Cam Ward, the same college he went to. And I think it will be a perfect selection for the New York Giants here.
All right, there. So that's a good selection there for you for the Giants. So I thank you for that, and I really appreciate that. So just a quick update in the chat. I see some comments there. Two Giants goofball where you said trade. Right now, there were no trades on the table for any team in this draft. So we're just going to go straight with making the selection. So makes it a little bit easier to go through this going forward. So, but just for this mock draft, no trades. So there you have it. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the number 6 pick, which is the Cleveland Browns. And I actually will be making the selection for the Cleveland Browns. Now, Cleveland, you need offensive tackle, offensive guard, wide receiver. So let me start the clock. All right, so they need line help, receiver, and some will argue as they need a quarterback. So, that is something that is intriguing there. So, and taking a look at the board and what we have here with Ruben Baines, Caleb Downs, Bailey, a lot of defensive guys. And when you get down a little bit later, you have some of the offensive players with the offensive linemen. So the question is offensive linemen and wide receivers. So question is, with the plethora of defensive talent, do you add on to that defense? Can you imagine Ruben Baines on that defensive line? It's really intriguing. Caleb Downs on the back end. But then there's questions about Shedeur Sanders for some fans, where others are saying he is the quarterback. Do you take the offensive line to really give him a fair look? I'm going to go in the offensive line, and I'm actually going to go with the offensive lineman that I think is the right fit. And I'm going to go with the other tackle out of Utah, Caleb Lemieux, for the Cleveland Browns. Now, he's a left tackle. He's played left tackle at Utah. Very athletic. Now, some will say he's a little light, but if you work with him and develop, he's very sound in his pass sets. He does play with a certain level of nastiness, but very sound in terms of his sets, the way he plays, he uses his hands, he kicks out, so he's mobile. You can even swing him out and pull him out onto screens and let him get downfield. So his selection will be perfect for what the Cleveland Browns are trying to do, especially when you have a new coach there. And this coach, he does like to work with the trenches. So giving him an offensive lineman is definitely what he needs. So there you have it. The pick is in offensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns. So we're going to go ahead now and move on to the 7th pick, which is going to be the Washington Commanders. And that will be picked by NYG22.
You forgot to take
Yeah. All right. We got you. So, Commanders. I'm thinking. Go up.
Yeah, there we go.
Go up. Okay, now we see the whole board. Okay, because I was looking, I was like, wow, it's slim pickings there. All right. Well, I got it. Let's go with it.
Ready for the pick?
All right. With the 7th pick in the NFL draft, the Washington Commanders select Ruben Bain Jr., edge, Florida. There you go.
All right. So what is it that you feel he brings to the table for the Washington Commanders?
I mean, you need an edge. You You got Wise Jr., you got Dorrance Armstrong. I mean, that's not bad, but again, think about the division they play in. You know, you're gonna have to stop the run, and you got running quarterbacks, you know, Jalen Hurts and now Jackson Dart with the Giants. I mean, I just think Ruben Bain, you know, can help chase those guys, you know what I'm saying, with speed, you know, with his ability to get to the quarterback. And hey, when we talking about impact players, I think he's a top 5 player in this draft. I mean, you get him at 7, you know, in my opinion. Overall, he's a top 5 player in this draft, clearly. You know, I mean, this kid's one edge, one A, if you want to go with Bailey. But that's what I'm thinking. I mean, to get him here at 7, this is still. Commanders fans got to be happy. I mean, you got to keep up with your division. You know, you got some quarterbacks now. They're catching up. So you better get that defense right. Their defense was not great last year, especially at getting to the quarterback. So, yeah, it's going to help.
All right there. So, great pick, great selection there for the Washington Commanders. Definitely intriguing. Now, this is where the draft is going to start to get dangerous. Needs start clashing with value, and one reach or steal can change anything, starting with these picks coming up. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the number 8 pick, which is the New Orleans Saints, and that will be selected by Big Pat Sports.
What's going on, Coach? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the New Orleans Saints, I cannot believe there's a guy that's still on the board. That is absolutely crazy. But I want you to check something out for me. Go to defensive tackle. Peter Woods. Very good. Go to edge. Yes, I have made my pick. Put myself on the big board. And with the number 8 pick in this year's NFL draft, New Orleans Saints select David Bailey, edge, Texas Tech.
Okay. So what is it that he's bringing down into the what is it, the Big Easy down there in New Orleans?
Yeah, I went with edge with New Orleans and with David Bailey from Texas Tech because I believe if the Saints get their defense right, I believe they can actually win that division over there by stopping some of those offenses. I believe they match up offensively pretty good with their whole division, with the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Buccaneers. But they need that defensive side of the ball. And Cameron Jordan is very old in the tooth. And this guy could come in, learn from Cameron Jordan, and become a beast just like Cameron Jordan. So I'm going edge David Bailey, because if they could get after those quarterbacks in that division, I think they can win that division with the offensive pieces that they have now. And let's not forget, we got 6 other rounds to get some offensive pieces out there. So, edge, David Bailey from Texas Tech, Coach. That's what I went with.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's a formidable piece right there down there in New Orleans. So, definitely, it's going to be intriguing as we go along. So, we're going to move on to the 9th pick, which is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, and that will be done by Fyro, coming back up onto the panel. So,
alrighty, if you can hear me well, not gonna lie, I already have my pick selected, but I was worried that it would have been selected by the Saints, so I'm glad he wasn't. But I'm already ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my Kansas City Chiefs, 4-time Super Bowl champions, for the 2026 NFL Draft, number 9th overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Peter Woods, D tackle, Clemson.
There we go. That's a nice little interesting pick there. So,
Yes.
and what is
So
it that he brings to the table?
you all might be a little bit shocked that I didn't get Jeremiah Love, but that's because one, I don't believe in taking a running back this early in the first round, but also it's because I think Kansas City will address that in free agency. They can't bring back Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. So with Peter Woods, let's be real. Chris Jones is getting older. He's not producing as much as he used to be, but he can at least mentor new guys. And the thing is, Peter Woods, he might be a bigger dude, but his versatility and his way to escape the blocks super easily is what really brings me to want this guy. Plus, he has a rushing touchdown. If that doesn't remind you of the 1985 Bears, I don't know what does. And Kansas City with Andy Reid loves to have plays like that. He did that back in 2016. I think it was Don Terry Poe that threw a touchdown pass against the Broncos. So, I think Peter Woods is just the example of what a Kansas City Chief can look like and will look like in the near future.
All right, there. So, it's great job there, Pyro, with that selection there. So, thank you for that. And we're going to go ahead now. That's an intriguing one. We're going to move on to the 10th pick. That's the Cincinnati Bengals. That will be done by Ghost Dog coming back up to the big board. So
You're back at it again, Coach.
here you
Back
are,
at it again.
So you're on the clock.
Man, I done had that just like 3 or 4 times just now, Coach. This is crazy. Just all these players coming off the board. However, I came prepared, right? I came prepared. So we are ready to go for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. Pick is in.
With the number 10 pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Kayvon McDonald, Ohio, defensive tackle.
Okay, Kayvon McDonald, defensive tackle. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's
Now look, Coach.
Caden. Okay, Caden McDonald. That's what threw me.
Caden. Yeah, Caden McDonald. I'm sorry. I said Caden. My apologies. My chicken scratch is a little crazy over here on my notes. However, absolute run stuffer, block eater, won himself a natty. Got a little bit of a nose for the ball as well. I'm looking at it right now, 9 sacks. Man, look, the Bengals is hurting right now for defense. Hurting. Hendrickson is up out of there. BJ Hill, right? BJ Hill, where's he at? So I think a Caden McDonald out of Ohio, I think that could fix a lot of problems over there, starting off. I mean, they got a lot of problems, but that's a good start. So absolutely, Caden McDonald, it's an easy choice for me.
Well, that would definitely make the fans in Cincinnati, keeping a Ohio Stater home, happy there. So that's a very interesting and sound pick there for Cincinnati. So but now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Miami Dolphins. And with the Dolphins, I'm actually going to be making that pick for them. So let's take a look here. The Dolphins, they need the quarterback, cornerback, offensive lineman, tight end, wide receiver. So you need a little bit of everything here. So definitely taking a look here. And I'm not even going to go any further. I know who I'm going to pick for the Miami Dolphins. So the pick is in. With the number 11 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Francis Mauigoa, offensive tackle and offensive guard out of the U, Miami. Now, this is a player, homegrown, but when you look at him on the film, he is prototypical as a guard. He can work inside. Now, in Miami, he has played right tackle, so he has played outside. but he's better suited for the guard position. He is a mauler. He is nasty. When he gets his hands on the defender, he will move him. This is what any quarterback wants for him. He wants to keep his in front of him clean, and Maliaga, sorry if I said his name wrong, will definitely do that. And in the run game, he will open up clear, big alleys that you can drive a Mack truck through. And he is the type of player that definitely will fit there down in Miami. So there you have it, Maliaga to the Dolphins. Next up are the Dallas Cowboys, and Firo is back on the board to make the selection for the Cowboys.
All right, guys. Thank you for having me again for the Dallas Cowboys pick. This one is a little bit tricky now. I'll be honest with you. We are coming down to the point where there's a lot of prospects that are really hard to pick, but in a good way. I have two guys in mind, and I've really got to be careful with this one because the Cowboys, they don't have a lot of needs, but they have, well, controversially, don't have a lot of needs, but the needs that they have has to be a careful pick. Oh boy. I think for what I've seen though, I think I'm ready for this pick. I think I'm ready.
Okay.
With the 12th pick of the NFL draft, the 2026 NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Mansoor Delane from LSU, cornerback.
Okay. And what does he bring to the table for the Cowboys?
So I'll be honest with you, Caleb Downs was going to be a very close pick. But I think when it comes to ball hawk versus somebody who can really go one-on-one with a receiver, I think Dallas could use that a little bit more. And I think that's what Mansoor Delane brings. I honestly, when I see Delane play, I kind of think of a Richard Sherman, a guy who isn't just there to intercept the ball. He is also there to bat him away. He can one-on-one somebody pretty well. And the fact that he can follow a receiver, I mean, you just saw it right there. He can follow a receiver and really read a play very quickly. And so his IQ and his willingness to be alone against the receiver, it really separates from everybody else. But man, Caleb Downs was so close to being that pick, man.
Definitely understand that there. So very good pick there. So I appreciate you there with that pick,
Thank you.
So we're going to move on to the 13th pick, which will be the Los Angeles Rams. Making that selection will be NYG 22 back on the board.
All right. Man, that's tough. Rams needed that corner right there. That's where I was lining up to go. Go to offensive tackles.
Okay.
Okay. Go to go back to all.
Okay.
All right. I know what I'm gonna do. I got you.
Okay.
All right. The Los Angeles Rams. We're going to take Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State.
Okay. Okay. And
BPA, baby. BPA.
that's what.
But nah, seriously. Cam Curl is a free agent. You're gonna get a big contract. Don't know if he'll be back, man. I mean, the Rams just got to get that secondary better. You know what I'm saying? Overall, and I mean, this kid right here is a weapon. Again, we talking about impact players. You cannot get enough impact players especially in the secondary, whether it's at safety, corner, wherever, and that's where they struggled at. You can move this kid around, you can play him in the slot if you want to, you can play him on the back end, but again, impact player. And in that division, now with the Seahawks doing what they doing, and then you got the 49ers, you better keep up on defense. You better keep up on defense. Now, ideally, maybe you want corner here, but I can't pass up on Caleb Downs at this point. Nah. Y'all got it.
All right then. Well, thank you. That's a great pick there. Definitely made it down the board there. So surprised he got that far down, but hey, there he goes to the Rams. So the rich get richer in a sense. So next up will be the Baltimore Ravens, and Big Pat will be making that selection for the Ravens.
All right. Back again. Big Pat in the building again. I'm picking for the Baltimore Ravens. And this is not going to be a hard pick. I think the Ravens were the best on defense when they had the linebackers to back up that front four that they have. Yes, they need an edge rusher, but I want you to go to defense, and I want you to see who I'm for the pick. Go to linebacker, and yes, the pick is in. So with the 14th pick here in this NFL draft in 2026, the Baltimore Ravens select Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. So I picked Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State, and this is going to convince the Ravens to keep and not release Patrick Queen. So you pair Patrick Queen with Sonny Styles there, you have a linebacker tandem that can stop that run and get the Ravens back to being the Ravens. You still have Hamilton back there in the secondary, and we have a bevy of other picks to get some talent in that secondary. I think they keep Marlon Humphrey, and I think they get back to it. They got something to prove this year. Harbaugh is gone, so Lamar Jackson, I think he's going to be on one with Derrick Henry, and that defense is back, baby. Sonny Styles with Patrick Queen. We got linebackers again, baby. Let's go.
All right. There you go. Getting back to the Baltimore Ravens style of defense there. So, good selection for the Ravens there. So, all right. We're going to go ahead and move on to the number 15 pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And making that pick will be Ghost Dog again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Coach, I've been kind of sitting on this pick for a little bit here, going back and forth between offense and defense and offense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm ready to make the pick.
Okay.
With the 15th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select wide receiver Makai Lemon, USC. Now, a little bit of an unorthodox pick. I get it. They got Egbuka over there, Mike Evans. Is Godwin there, though? That's my question. And Mike Evans, he's kind of like on the back half of his career at this point. So why not slide in another receiver in there so that way Egbuka could get like a little bit of the load off his back, and you can distribute not only the targets, the yardage, but also the touchdowns. That way Mike Evans could take him under the wing in a similar manner that he did Egbuka. Simple mathematics for me. And Baker Mayfield is going to have a field day. Similar to when he had, remember, OBJ and a Landry up in the Browns. So let's see, man. Real interesting. I think that's a good pick for me.
Okay.
Real simple.
All right. Well, thank you for that pick, Ghost Dog. And adds on it can help out. You know that Baker's going to love that pick there. So Definitely intriguing one there, and a good one. So, as we start to get later in the draft, yes, you're going to start seeing some sneaky picks, some controversial picks. So, half the room is going to love it, and half the room is going to hate it. So, make sure you guys in the chat let us know what you think with some of these selections. Tell us who you would pick with some of these teams. We'd love to hear from you. Also, make sure everyone subs up to the Original Sports Network, the Hardcore Sports Network, and all these great content creators. Their information is going to be there right there in the chat. Guys, make sure you put your channels in there so people can sub up to you. But this is going great. Love this. You guys are doing great, and love some of the comments that I'm seeing there in the chat. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next pick, which will be number 16. And the New York Jets are back on the clock, and NYG 22 is back on the board, making another Jets pick. Jets, Jets. All right.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Getting thin down. We're gonna have to do some scrolling here. All right, scroll down.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Ooh. All right. Go back up.
Mm-hmm.
Go one or two ways. Go down again. All right. All right. I know who I want.
Mm-hmm.
We ready. All right. With the 16th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, we, the New York goddamn Jets, select defensive tackle Caleb Banks out of Florida.
Right, there we go for the Jets. Okay, and what is it that he's bringing to New York?
Stopping the run, baby. What we gotta do? What are we doing? What are we doing out here, bro? You know what I'm saying? We stopping the run. We trying to get to the quarterback. You got rid of Quentin Williams, unfortunately. You know, you bring in this young kid. You know, we already got Reese, so now you got two studs to build a run-stopping defense. You know what I'm saying? To build with what you already got, man. On the edge with McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. So that's what we're trying to do here in New York. Yeah, hey. Caleb Banks, man. Let's go. You know, arguably, you know, top 1-2 in the class as far as D tackles is concerned. Let's go.
All right.
Get him at 16.
Here you have it.
Banks big fatty here for you, coach.
Fatty abs. All right, so there you have it. New York is getting that front seven together there. So there you have it there. Wow, great pick there for the Jets. Love to hear what some Jets fans think about that. But we're going to move on to the number 17 pick, and we're going to bring Michigan Mike up to the platform to make the pick for the Detroit Lions. Welcome aboard, Mike. Can't hear you. Still muted.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
No, that's all right.
Good to thank you for having me, Coach. I appreciate. I've heard a lot about you, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. So, got your Detroit Lions ready. So go ahead. You got the board.
Absolutely, and I am ready to go.
Are you ready with your selection? Okay.
I'm absolutely ready. With the 17th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Caden Proctor, offensive tackle, Alabama.
All right. And what is it he brings to the table to the Lions there?
Well, I'd love to explain a little bit. So, in the situation the Lions are in, they were third in rushing last year. They were sixth in rushing the year before that when they entered the NFC Championship game. This year, they were 13th. And that sounds good. That doesn't sound like a huge drop. But a lot of that was fed by some big Jahmyr Gibbs runs and some big Jahmyr games. But like you look at the Green Bay game, look at the Eagles game, the running game was ineffective against good defenses. So the problem is we lost Frank Ragnow. And we saw a big decline in play from Graham Glasnow and some injuries to our rookies, Christian Mahogany and Tate Ratledge was our rookie from last year. So I did consider Oane from Penn State, but I'm looking at offensive tackle, and Taylor Decker has also seen quite a bit of decline in play. So I looked at offensive tackle, and we have Penei Sewell on the right. I think getting a left tackle of the future, or maybe even for this season, if injuries happen to Taylor Decker, which they have had over the last couple of years. Caden Proctor, to me, I think could win a lot higher on this list. I'm really high on him. I think he is a 360-pound guy, huge anchor. He's got probably the best anchor in this draft. When he sets his feet and gets his hands on you, you're not going anywhere. The bull rush is going nowhere on him, and he's a freak athlete at 360 pounds. He actually was listed as one of the freaks of college football in terms of being an athlete and being the size he is. So with that kind of raw athleticism, and with Hank Fraley as our offensive line coach, who has been solid at developing our guys, including Penei Sewell, we get a guy for the future, and we get a very, very big freak athlete to get that grit back. Because one of the biggest things that was wrong with the Lions this season was the grit was gone. We could not move guys. So this is a guy that's going to move people. He's going to stop people.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's a good selection. And Detroit, Coach Campbell, trenches, definitely loves those trenches up there in Detroit. So there you have it there. So Detroit is made that selection there. So we're going to be moving on to the 17th pick, the Minnesota Vikings, and Ghost Dog is coming back up to the platform to make the selection for the Vikings.
That was quick, Coach. That was quick.
Yeah, we're moving along here. So there you have it. So
sure.
With the Vikings. So you're now on the clock.
Let me look at that offense real quick, at the offensive line specifically.
Which tackle, guard, or center?
Let me see the guard real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's there. So I'm going to go ahead and make the decision.
Okay.
With the 18th pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Minneapolis Vikings select Olai Vega Loan, Penn State, offensive guard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last year, man, and to keep the theme going, the trenches, the Vikings was trash up front in the middle, and specifically along the offensive line as a whole, allowing 60 sacks. J.J. McCarthy was running for dear life. You had Justin Jefferson over there frustrated on the sidelines. And I'm not necessarily a J.J. McCarthy defender, but get some protection for that young man. Like, at least help him. You know what I mean? Like, maybe even draft a running back after the fact to get a good running game after, to help him out, balance things out a little bit. But, Coach, you always say it, man. It starts up front. Couldn't straight facts all around. If you understand football, it starts in the trenches, especially on the offensive line. So, Olavega Loan, you are a Viking.
All right there. Well, thank you for that selection there, Ghost. I really appreciate you there. He's a nasty one. I can definitely attest to that, man. The kid will move people in the trenches there. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the Carolina Panthers. And with making the selection for the Panthers is going to be NYG22. Back on the clock.
Yeah, we back. All right, man. Carolina. Let's go to the defense. Let's go to edge. They gotta get the edge. Like Falk. Oh, that kid from Miami's pretty good too. Johnson, Young, That's just how I can. All right. Yeah, we're gonna make the selection.
Okay. Pick is in.
All right, the Carolina Panthers select Keldrick Faulk, edge, Auburn.
Hey. And what is he bringing to the table for the Panthers there?
Somebody can get to the quarterback. I mean, they got two kids last year, but they still were near the bottom of the league, I think, in pressures, or maybe last. So if you're the Panthers, man, this kid right here, he's a speed rusher. So, you hope, you can help him, add him to the defense with the other guys that you got, maybe create a rotation and get it done that way. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have some more people that can get to the quarterback, because that was their bugaboo last year. Otherwise the Panthers are a pretty solid team, actually. But yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. Pick there on edge for the Panthers. Faulk, definitely going to help them there. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the 20th pick, and that's going to be, how about them Cowboys? Making the pick for the Cowboys again is Fyro, coming back up to the panel. So,
Thank you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, them boys are back. They got this pick from the Green Bay Packers. And Bias Radio, I actually agree with you. I wasn't going to pick running back. Jeremiah Love still has to sit there. But unfortunately, the Panthers did take my pick. But I have a backup pick that will help out the Cowboys anyways. So I am ready for my next selection. With the 20th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, them boys, Dallas Cowboys, will select C.J. Allen, linebacker, Georgia.
Okay, and what is he bringing to the table for the Cowboys?
When I see C.J. Allen, I haven't really seen a lot of what he can do against the pass, but I know against the run, he is a great run stopper for a linebacker, and he's somebody who can go for the blitz. I know the Cowboys like to blitz at times, and if there's anybody that can blitz, it is C.J. Allen. And they lost lost Micah Parsons from a trade, and it's unfortunate for the Cowboys. Not unfortunate for my Packers, but Chiefs Packers, by the way, is my team. But C.J. Allen can be a replacement linebacker or edge, wherever you want to put him to go against the run, or if you just really need somebody to take out a lineman, because dude bulldozes those guys. I'll tell you what.
All right, so that's what we have on the table. So good selection there for the Cowboys. As a Giants fan, not going to enjoy seeing him, but hey, there you have it. Coming up at number 21, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I actually will be making the selection for the Steelers. Grew up a Steelers fan back in the 70s, so I have a little history. And my man Blaze, who's another Steelers fan, he's in the chat talking about Jeremiah Smith at 21. Oh, okay. Yeah, but do I really go there? I mean, they need quarterback, they need cornerback, offensive lineman, defensive tackle. You have a new head coach. You're playing in a division with quarterbacks like Jackson, like Shedeur Sanders, Cincinnati with their quarterback. You go ahead and solidify. So do we take the cornerbacks? Do you go with McCoy? I mean, You know, he can be that number one, 5'11", 193. You know, some will say he's a little bit small, but what about Terrell? Same size, family legacy, you know, being that, you know, AJ Terrell is family to him. But do you also go with the quarterback there, Alabama? Now, he was a kid early last year that was considered one of the top quarterbacks. But, you know, he was dealing with some injuries, so it's a matter of which of the two am I going to think about taking? And you have a new coach. You don't have a quarterback. You really don't. Ty Simpson would be the best pick for them. So, but you know what? Maybe it is one of the defensive backs. Or do they go with another tight end, Sadiq? I mean, they have a plethora of tight ends in Pittsburgh. They love tight ends. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. The pick is in. And with the 21st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Pittsburgh Steelers go with Ty Simpson, quarterback out of Alabama. And just as I said, he's one of those quarterbacks, great anticipatory skills. He does have a cannon. He is somewhat mobile. He's not a dual threat quarterback, but he is athletic enough to sit in the pocket, move in the pocket, and also get down the field. He knows how to get that pass downfield to the receivers. He knows how to get to the checkdowns. So, and playing under Mike McCarthy will do nothing but help his game grow. So that's the reason why I went with Simpson for the Steelers. So there you have it. And oops, timer is up. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the number 22 pick. And that is going to be the Chargers. And Big Pat will be making the pick for the Chargers there. So let's go ahead there, Pat.
All right, I'll be making the next pick for the Chargers, and the pick is in, man. I've already seen what I want for the Chargers, and with the 22nd pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Avion Terrell, cornerback, Clemson. Chargers, man, they need defense, man. They need a cornerback. And I think this guy plays just like his brother, AJ Terrell, over there with the Falcons. And I believe they need a corner that can get physical on the outside. And this defense needs to pick it up because I believe once Amarian Hampton gets healthy and those receivers from last year were stepping up. And so I think they're pretty good on the offense. They still got Prince Charming, Justin Herbert out there. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a cornerback for the Chargers to get that defense rolling, man. And hopefully that safety, James, can stay healthy because if he stays healthy, that secondary is a whole lot different with him on the field. But Avion Terrell, welcome to the Los Angeles Chargers.
All right there. Good selection there for the Chargers. All right, Pat. We're going to move on to the Philadelphia Eagles, them birds. And making the selection will be Ghost Dog for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I should sabotage these dirty ass birds. What you think, Coach?
No, we gotta be fair.
You
fair.
You right. Gentlemen's what is it? Gentlemen's honor, or however you call it.
Yes.
You know, if there's one thing that I gotta respect about the Eagles, however, Coach, is that they draft well, particularly in the trenches. Can I look at the offensive line real quick, please?
Which position? Tackle, guard, or center?
Tackle, specifically.
Okay. All right, so here we go.
All right. I mean, look, man, Lane Johnson is getting older. Why not get a young buck in there, especially at right tackle? Take him under the wing, show him the ropes. I got my pick ready to go.
Okay.
With the 23rd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select offensive tackle Monroe Freeland, Georgia. And, Coach, he's a Georgia Bulldog. And as we know, they got like a theme going on over there right now that, Giants fans, we are all too familiar with. So it just makes sense to me. Lane Johnson is getting older. He's getting up there long in the tooth. Again, get this young buck in here, get him up to speed. A couple things lacking as I'm looking at his stats and whatnot. However, man, he has a good wingspan, great height, little undersized, but he's real quick, man. Real quick with it. Real nasty dude. I'm real pancaker. I'm reading here. Real pancaker, finishes the blocks. So they're gonna appreciate him down there in Philadelphia for sure.
All right, man. You know Philadelphia, they definitely do love those linemen there. So good pick up there. Yeah, as a Giants fan, definitely not gonna like it, but they definitely do love their offensive linemen down there. So next on the board will be the Cleveland Browns, and I'll actually be selecting for the Cleveland Browns. So, and just take a look at the Browns pick earlier. I remember who. All right. And took offensive tackle. That's right. I remember that. All right. So, taking a look here at the board and what they need. Now, I'm surprised that one of these players made it this far down. And it's very intriguing. But they still need help everywhere on the offensive side. Wide receiver, do we take Concepcion? You can argue he's more of a slot guy and special teamer. Takes it deep. Or you go with the Jeremiah Love, running back. Can do pretty much everything. He can catch out of the backfield and he can run for the Browns, and that can help any quarterback, when you do have efficient or running game. But then with Sadiq, you just lost your tight end who walked. So it's, do you go with the tight end? Or do you go with a big body receiver in Denzel Boston? It's going to be intriguing. But the pick is in for the Cleveland Browns. And with the 24th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select running back Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame. Now, Love is a dangerous running back. He can run inside. He can get to the outside. He can catch. You can even split him out at times to play wide receiver. You can play him in the slot or on the outside. So you can line him up on different positions on the field. And that's going to help Shedeur Sanders because that's one of the things that he really is going to need, a sound running game. And with the new head coach, you saw what he did in Baltimore. He does like a running game. So you give him that running back. That'll allow Sanders to establish the play action pass and be able to then get the ball to other playmakers at the second and deep down the field. So there you have it. Running back for the Cleveland Browns. So we're going to go ahead now and move on to the next pick, which will be the 25th pick. And that will be the Chicago Bears. And Big Pat will be making that selection for the Bears.
Hey, so I'm back again with the Chicago Bears. And this one here is going to be a little bit of a pick. Let's go offense, man. Let's see what they got out there on offense.
Okay.
So, they redid their whole offensive line. Receiver position, you got tight end, you got man. The Bears really don't need much. So let's go to defense. All right, so let's go to edge. Go to defensive tackle. I've already seen him. Go to defensive tackle just to make sure he's there. And yes, he is there. The pick is in. And the Chicago Bears pick. Which pick is this, Coach? I believe the 26th. 25th pick in this year's NFL draft. The Chicago Bears select Lee Hunter, defensive tackle from Texas Tech. So, Lee Hunter, Texas Tech defensive tackle, chosen for the Bears, man, because the Bears, yes, their defense was outstanding last year. So, let's build upon that defense and not allow you to run the ball against them and force you to pass it with those corners and those safeties out there. And Lee Hunter at the defensive tackle position will help them stop the run and make them a formidable front seven once their linebackers get back healthy. And I think this actually makes their defense pretty strong at all levels. So you build on what you did last year very well. Hopefully your defense can stop some teams, and Caleb Williams, he can throw as many interceptions as he wants. If you can't score, you can't beat us. So Lee Hunter, defensive tackle, Texas Tech, 25 Chicago Bears, man. Let's get it.
All right, there you have it. So Hunter to the Bears. That's a nice little pick there for them. So we're going to move on to the number 26 pick, and that's the Buffalo Bills. And I actually am making the pick for the Buffalo Bills. So, and, you know, one of the things that's intriguing is, you know, as you get later in the draft, you know, this is where you really build, contribute to your playoff build. And these picks, they're not all going to be flashy, you know, especially with the Bills. They're not flashy, you know, so they just want to continue to be contending. And the Bills, you know, wide receiver, edge, safety. So I'm going to take a look here. I'm going to start with the edge, and intriguing pick there. Two guys, and then you go to the safety. You can really do something. And then if we look at the wide receivers, so do you go with Concepcion, slot guy, dynamic type of a player, Boston, and on the defensive side, do you go doing Mesidor, who was a partner with Baines in Miami and caused havoc? You know, this is a guy who's, you know, 6'3", 273, but he's an older player, so injury history. But even though as an older player, you know, he's well versed, and it's not going to take a lot to get him ready to play. So, but I think the pick is in for the Buffalo. Yeah, it's in. The pick is in. Surprising pick that I'm going to give to you is with the number 26 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Buffalo Bills go with wide receiver Denzel Boston out of Washington. This is a big body guy. Definitely can, when he gets down the field, he can contest. It's going to be deadly in the red zone, which is definitely what Allen is going to need as a quarterback. He knows how to play well. Boston as a wide receiver, move down the field. He can read the offense and the defense. That does have to refine his pass routing skills, but still, he's the type of guy that, you know what, he's gonna, as they say, quote unquote, moss a defender, and he's gonna help stretch the field, but also score those touchdowns, especially in the red zone. And Josh Allen is gonna love that. He definitely needs that. So there you have it. Denzel Boston to the Buffalo Bills. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the San Francisco 49ers with the number 27 pick. And Big Pat will be making that selection again.
Hey, I'm back in the fray. And the San Francisco 49ers, man, you took the guy that I was going to give him. But, hey, look, we still got a bevy of players out there, and I want you to keep it on all and go down and go up a little bit. Yep, he's right there. I got the pick. The pick is in. So, with the number 27 pick in this year's NFL draft, San Francisco 49ers select Brandon Cease, cornerback out of Texas Tech. Hey, those Texas Tech guys were pretty doggone good this year, man. And reason why I chose Brandon Cease out of South Carolina for the 49ers because they need a little bit of secondary help. Their defense is getting a little old in the tooth, and they need those corners to stay with the Rams, with the Cardinals, with the Seahawks. Man, you got all Jackson Smith and Jig, everybody's over there. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Wilson, and Harrison over there in that division. So I'm taking Brandon Cease from South Carolina, big corner, definitely very physical, and would love to play with the 49ers. They get busy over there. So that's my pick. Back to the dungeon I go.
All right, Pat. Good job there. So, definitely going to be intriguing there. So, but we're going to move on to number 28. And the Houston Texans are now on the board. First time up. And we have Rios coming to the board for the first time to make the selection for the Houston Texans.
What's going on, guys? What's going on, Coach?
What's up, Rios? It's a long wait for you, huh?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully next year we're picking 32, but can't get it.
There you go.
I was kind of hoping Jeremiah Love would fall a little bit further, but it's how the cookies crumble sometimes. But no, I'm ready to make my pick. If you can go to guards.
Okay.
And first one.
Okay. Pick is in.
And 28th pick of this NFL 2026 draft, the Houston Texans select Chase Bisontis, guard, Texas A&M.
Okay. And what is it that he's bringing to the table for the Texans there?
Well, one of the weak spots for the Texans last season was the interior, the centers, and both the guard spots is because basically the revolving door because of injuries. I think at the right guard spot, they're going to re-sign Ed Ingram, which helps solidify that. And I think they address the center position and free agency. So that kind of leaves a hole at left guard. And he was one of the best, guards in all of college football last season. I got it right here. Let's see. He's a big guy. And, most of the guys on the Texans line are like 6'6", 300 plus pounds. So they like their big old boys up front. And basically, if he's able to help negate some of the stunts that teams have been able to run on the Texans, that gives C.J. Stroud a little bit more time to, maneuver in the pocket and make the correct read and hopefully not give the ball to the other team. Football 101.
Okay. Chase, Jersey boy, definitely will help solidify there for the Texans there. So good pick there. So thanks a lot, Rios. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the Los Angeles Rams, and NYG 22 is coming back up to the board.
All right, we got another one here for the Rams. Let's go to defense. Defensive tackle. Okay, go down. All right, go up. Let's go to all. Go back to all. I'm gonna go down. Scroll down. All right, yeah. Go back up.
Oops. Go ahead, I got you.
Oh yeah, we ready.
You're picking it?
All right. So with the pick what was it? The 20th pick?
29th.
The 29th pick. You know what I'm saying? The Rams will select what's a defensive tackle? Christian Miller, defensive tackle, Georgia.
Okay. And what does he bring to the table for the Rams?
Again, you need help on defense stopping the run. You know, and I mean, he's gonna give you that. He's gonna give you just help in your front seven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you got Fisk, you got Verse, but again, you trying to build a defense to stop the 49ers, to stop the Seahawks. You know, so that's what we're talking about here with the Rams. You know, I took Caleb Downs with the first pick and then Christian Miller here. So, I mean, I think the Rams definitely get better on defense, which is what their problem is. You know, the problem ain't scoring. Clearly it ain't. You know, they can put up points. So, I mean, you know, they got the rest of the draft to attack some areas on the offensive end. So, top 2 picks, defense. Let's go.
All right. So, good job there. We're going to go ahead and move on to the number 30th pick, which is the Denver Broncos. And Big Pat, come on back up here and make this pick.
Hey, guess who's back again? Big Pat Sports Talk making another pick. We in the AFC West this time with the Denver Broncos. I want you to go to offense and I want you to go to tight end position for me. And I don't know why they have him ranked so low, but we taking the guy that I'm getting ready to tell you right now. With the 30th pick in this year's NFL draft, the Denver Broncos select Michael Trigg, tight end out of Baylor.
Okay. What is it about Trigg that you like, Pat?
Oh, man, Trigg is intriguing. All pun intended. Man, the man is like 6'5", can make one-hand catches, can run routes fast, just as fast as Sadiq, and he can block. And he is that guy that Bo Nix can throw to over the middle of the field. And that's what they need on their offense. They need somebody. They need a big body that you have to respect in the middle of the field. Don't know why they got him ranked so low. I believe he's the best tight end in this draft. I think Kenyon Sadiq, he's an athletic freak, but I don't think he can play that traditional tight end role that the Denver Broncos would need him to play. Michael Trigg can line up in line. He can line up in the slot. He can line up as the X, the Y, the Z, wherever you want him to line up at. This dude is going to be an absolute monster in that Denver Broncos offense. And definitely if they could get those running backs running the ball good again, man, play action, throw it to Michael Trigg out there, let him break some tackles, and he can catch it over people's domes. Michael Trigg, man, love this pick for the Denver Broncos, coach.
All right. There you go. That's an intriguing, that's a surprising one. If we were going by the boards, but hey, that's where you got to do your homework. You got to evaluate. So there you have it there. So we're going to move on to the number 31 pick and the New England Patriots. And Ghost Dog is coming back up to the platform to make this pick for the Pats.
All right. We're getting close to the finish line now, Coach. Getting real close. Oh, man. Can I take a look at the offense real quick? The offensive line?
Sure.
The offensive tackle?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me look at the tight end real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's still there, and it's weird, bro, because I think he'll go a lot sooner than this. But we're gonna go ahead and snatch him up.
Pick is in.
With the 31st pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Patriots select tight end Kenyon Sadiq, Oregon. Look, man, this kid is athletic, 6'3", 245 pounds, able to shrug off defenders, high points the ball because of his athleticism and his height. Pretty decent blocker as well. I think he's going to be a good weapon for a young Drake May. And they need pieces over there, man, for that offense. They really do. They need a couple on defense, but let's get some help for your young quarterback over there.
All right, there you have it. That's an intriguing one, and you know, usually through Pat's history, the Patriots' history, they have been tight end heavy. So there you have it. And with the final pick, the Super Bowl champions, the champ is here. I'll actually be making this pick for them. And sitting here taking a look, it's really down to 2 players, but I definitely want to take a look. And there's another one who is there, who I didn't realize would still be here. And let me take a look at me. Now, Seahawks, you know, we don't know. We got to wait to see what happens during free agency. Do they lose one of their starting cornerbacks? Do you start to attack their defensive line and get some replacements as we go? We can look at the offensive line. Let me just take a look here at the offensive line and see the guards. Do I want to take him this high? There's no there now. And nah. You know what? The pick is in. With the final pick in the first round, number 32 overall of the 2026 NFL Draft, the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will select cornerback Colton Hood, Tennessee. Hood is definitely a type cornerback. He's the type of guy that you would definitely want to play in your system. He can definitely cover and give you what you need in terms of a playmaker. So he will definitely come in there with that defense. He will fit in and develop and grow, and he will eventually be the type of player that locks it down in a sense on one side of the field for the Seahawks. So, but there we have it. That is the complete list. This is going to wrap up the first round of the 2026 mock draft here. The debates, they're going to get started. Make sure you guys tell us your biggest disagreement in the comments, or let us know who won the draft, or who do you think is the best pick. Definitely would love to hear that. So appreciate everyone here for tapping in, all the content creators, everyone here. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already done so, drop your information in the chat. But again, outstanding job there with the picks. Mendoza going number 1 overall with Hood as the last pick. So real quick, guys, give us your thoughts. I'm going to start with Rios. Oops, I thought I ended this. My phone is driving me crazy today. All right, Rios, give us some of your thoughts on some of the selections. What was one of your surprise picks?
Honestly, Jeremiah Love going as low as he did. I know a lot of people don't think you should draft a running back high, but with the Falcons improving, drafting Bijan early, you get the right guy at running back, it can revitalize your entire offense, and you can build around him. I'm kind of surprised he fell as far as he did. But the other ones, I mean, the way the guys explained it, they make a lot of sense. I didn't see anything too surprising. He was the big surprise for me. That and the guy that I wanted for the Texans falling that far as well, because there's a lot of need for guards as well in the NFL, and him dropping that far, I mean, I'll take it.
All right. Mike, are you still there? No, he's gone. Agent X, what's one of your surprise picks of this draft right here?
I'm gonna say the surprise pick would have to be Jeremiah Love. To be honest with you, I don't think he should be falling that far off, despite the fact that he's a talented running back from Notre Dame. And for Jordan Tyson, I could see that happening, potentially. If Cardell Tate was already taken or Caleb Downs is still on the board.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right. Fyro. Am I saying it right? Is it Fyro?
Yes, you were actually the only person that's ever said it right.
Okay. All right, but what about you? Do you have a surprise pick for the whole draft?
I do actually. I'm a little bit surprised of how defense heavy the Jets went, because as much as the Jets need pretty much almost every position, I still think the Jets did a lot to help out the defense in 2025, especially with the trade deadline. I think the Jets can absolutely use a lot more on offense than they would on defense, but when you're the Jets, man, when you're the Jets. Enough said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got
or NYG.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead, Ghost. What's a surprise selection for you?
Yeah, man. Jets going Jet for sure. However, outside of Jeremiah Love, man, Caleb Downs. That was a little bit of a surprise for me, too. It's a lot of noise coming out for this young man. Talented. Gold jacket type of talk. That's what I'm hearing. So for him to go down as far as he did, I don't know. And you know what? Even oh boy, Kenyon Sadiq. I don't think he's gonna go down that far either. I'm gonna be honest with you. But we're gonna see though. We'll see for sure.
Exactly. All right, NYG. What about you, man? Talk to me. Where's your surprise pick of this draft?
Well, no surprise about the Jets, because they did get rid of two of their star players, and Quentin Williams, and so I mean you get some talent back, but I'm gonna actually go with what Ghost Dog said. I mean, me getting Caleb Downs with the Rams at 13, like, that's crazy.
Okay.
I mean, that's the biggest surprise to me. I couldn't believe he was still there.
All right. Big Pat, talk to me. What about you? What's the surprise?
Yeah, Caleb Downs was definitely a surprise, dropping all the way to 13. And then I think you picked Jeremiah Love for the Browns. You don't know they got Quinshawn Judkins over there, and Sampson, and Rocket Sanders, and they gonna get Jeremiah Love. Okay, so they running the ball, they running it all day. But I'm gonna tell you what, after this Giants Battlegrounds on Saturday, y'all tune in for that with me versus NYG with Coach hosting that show. I gotta talk to Agent Warrior X. You gonna have to come to Giants Battleground. Jordan Tyson over Caleb Downs at 5. Man,
Right.
man, you know what I'm
That'd be
saying?
crazy.
Yo, what are you doing, sir?
Like I
Oh,
get
my
it.
goodness.
I knew somebody was going to
I
get
just
that
wouldn't
one.
do it.
That's why
I get it.
I
I just
left that
wouldn't do it.
alone. Yeah, I left it
What are
alone.
you doing?
Left that alone, yo. I knew somebody was going
Oh my
to get
god.
that. As many Giants fans as there.
Repping for the New York Giants, and you take Jordan Tyson, another injury-prone receiver, and we already got elite neighbors.
To tell you the truth, just in case Cardell Take is taken, Jordan
That's
Tyson or
even
Caleb
more-
Downs.
Receiver?
Not gonna
Caleb
lie, I
Downs
was
could be
shocked
the
too.
best player available. Caleb Downs could be another option, but I think my gut feeling is that you needed a receiver just in case Davis go down again.
I feel you, brother. I ain't gonna go too hard on it, but if you ever want to pull up to Giants Mountain, your
Hey, I'm always available
application
though.
is in the mail. So
Okay.
that was the NFL mock draft first round, man. Shout out.
Wait a minute, Pat. I gotta give my surprise.
Oh man, coach.
Yeah,
you
we got
know
it.
what
We did a
surprise
surprise,
was. Go
yeah.
ahead.
I know.
Well, number one, you guys did hit it. I was surprised Jeremiah Love and also Caleb Downs drops as far as they did. So, I mean, those were some of my surprises. The Freeling with the Eagles, I get it. And I was just like, as a Giants fan, I would hate it. I would hate it because that just continues to add insult to injury with what they do. But it does make a lot of sense with, you know, the way Ghost, addressed it. But and then again, you know, you have Johnson on the back end, so I get it. But that was pretty much it. All right, so go ahead, Pat. Let's close this out now, so we, everybody can get ready to go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say shout out to everybody that came in and made some picks, man. This has been dope. Shout out to you guys. Go subscribe to all these guys' channels, man.
Sure.
This was dope, man. Hopefully we can have a
Let's get
bigger turnout on the next one. So thank you for coming up with this idea. This was absolutely dope. And I enjoyed this, man. Other than, Jordan Tyson at 5, I just
But that,
I enjoyed it,
Oh,
man.
man.
That's what these
Have me
were,
scrambling
though.
with my paperwork. Have me
That-
scrambling.
Number one, it as content creators, it really makes us, especially when you're picking for other teams that you're not familiar with, it really makes you do your homework. So, and if you're a film junkie like me and Pat, we'll be in the lab breaking down film and dissecting a whole lot more. So, but again, it's fun. Thank you to those in the chat who gave their insight and their talk, and follow up and make sure you guys continue rewatch and then go back and hit us up, and make sure you, like Pat said, make sure you follow everyone. As you see, everyone here, great content creators. So, and trust me, there's going to be another one. There's definitely going to be another one. So,
Word.
this is gonna be fun.
Like them comments up, man. Like them comments up, man. Hit the
Yes.
likes, man. You know what I
So-
mean?
And I can't reiterate it. Sub up. I mean, hey, one of my biggest things that I always say on my streams: if it's free, it's for me. Hey, it's free. It don't cost you anything, and it helps us out and brings you more great content like this. So, but with that being said, we're about ready to get out of here. So, thanks a lot to everyone for being here. Thanks for Pat being the producer, controlling the, as NYG will say, the ones and the twos. He definitely handled it. And added a great flavor to this. And what can I say? You don't see this anywhere else. Two networks coming together and bring you something like this. You don't see that. And trust me, the next one is going to be bigger and better than ever. So, but with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Appreciate everyone. Y'all be safe. Good night. Peace.
Thank you, Coach.
Peace, and
Thanks,
some
Coach.
proud GMs on this panel.
Yeah,
Still got to talk to my boy though. But we out.
we out.
With the first pick in the 2000 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select
ABSN.
Welcome to Mock Draft Central, live on the ABSN.